Good morning. I wanted to share a quick message with you about growth and about being the underdog. Yesterday, I met with one of my favorite reps. His name's Etu. And he brought up this word underdog, which I said something pretty quick, and then he taught me. And it was pretty cool. Being the underdog just means that, like, the odds are stacked against you, and that in many people's minds, like, you're not going to win. The probability of you winning is low. And I guess I'm simple. I grew up in Idaho. I got to grow up around farm animals and stuff like that, and I had a thought this morning, and I think it's actually pretty profound. And that thought is, like, I remember as a kid watching like a calf be born, and within minutes that calf is able to stand up and walk. Have you ever watched a nature documentary and you see like a gazelle or a wildebeest or something that's born, and right away the mom is coaxing the newborn calf or whatever it is to stand up and walk? Now I want you to think about that for just a second and relate it to human beings. I've never, ever seen a human baby stand up and walk within an hour of being born. When you were born, you couldn't walk, you couldn't feed yourself, you crapped your pants, and it didn't take a day or an hour, it didn't take a week, it didn't take a month. In fact, probably most kids don't walk for the first year. What if you gave your kid advice like, hey, just try for a year, and if you don't succeed, then you can go ahead and stop trying to walk? That would be horrible advice. And yet, in our world today, there are so many other skill sets and attributes that if we would become good at them, they would bless our lives innumerably. And yet we don't discipline ourselves to keep trying and keep improving because we're not willing to be bad at it. I once heard a speaker say, you got to be willing to be bad at it long enough to get good at it. If I handed you a guitar right now and you've never played, you'd be bad at it. And if you had this mindset that, oh, I'm bad at it, and then you develop a story that says, I'll never get good at this, then you're going to gather all the evidence in your life that backs that story up, that makes it so that you'll never get good at it. And that's the crazy thing, is if you write that story of, I'm bad at this, so I'll never get good at it, and then you back up all your actions, your thoughts, and your behaviors with that line of thinking, you'll never get good at it. But if you would simply shift that to, I'm better than I once was, and I'm getting there, and I'm getting closer, and I'm getting better and better every day, then pretty soon you would line your actions and behaviors up with that desired outcome. See, all of you that are watching this video and understand what I'm saying, you learned how to walk. You adapted. You got better. In fact, you belong to the most dominant species on this planet. You are the apex predator. You are. Like it or not, believe it or not, you are. You are the apex predator. You are part of that family. And the interesting thing is, if you look at from when you were born, heck, so many animals walked before you did, were able to accomplish simple tasks like catch before you were. Think of a dog that before it's even a year old is catching a ball. I've had 5 kids. None of them could catch a ball before they were a year old. And I guess the point that I'm trying to make here is that you will be whatever you will to be. That's out of James Allen's book, As a Man Thinketh. And what it means is you are an adaptive creature. And you are where you are because of your mindsets and your environments and your decisions that you've made up until this point. But if you would simply decide, make new decisions, think new thoughts, which lead to new habits or new actions and new behaviors, then things slowly but surely begin to change. And one of the challenges that we deal with as a society is that people can't see that. We can't see how today fits into our life or how today matters. We all just want to be a champion, but we don't want to do what champions do. We all want to win the game, but we don't want to practice. We don't want to condition. We don't want to lift weights. We don't want to do all the things that's required. And so I suppose I'm asking ourselves to figure out, like, what are the games you want to win? And also, what are the games that don't matter, that you don't care whether you win or not, right? Because if you'll decide what games you want to win and then be intentional and deliberate, you will progress in those areas. All of us will, and all of us do. One thing that makes human beings different is our ability to look into the future and to say, this is where I'm headed. This is where I want to go. This is who I'm going to have to become in order to accomplish what I need to accomplish in order to have what I want to have. All the other animals in the animal kingdom, they don't do that. They don't have the mental capacity. I've never seen another animal build a barn or a car or anything. And so I suppose I'm asking all of us to recognize that you today are really good at something that you used to be horrible at. And whether that's you used to be horrible at walking and now you're really good at it, or running and now you're really good at it, or math and now you're really good at it, the stories that we tell ourselves matter. And what doesn't matter is where you're at right now. And yet so many people put so much weight and so much bearing on that. They look at it and say, well, I'm bad at math right now. And the challenge is that it's in that thought that they build the next thought, which is that I'll never get good at math. That it just must be a problem with me, or I hate this, or I don't understand why I'm not good at it. And if all they would simply do is just shift that story just a little bit and begin to climb, begin to adapt, begin to learn what they did not before know or understand, then pretty soon they would get good in that area of their life. See, I have a 5-year-old that's working on little math stuff like addition, like what's 1 + 2? And you know what she thinks? She thinks she's really good at math. And so if you can do more complex math than that, but you have a belief that you're not good at math, you're wrong. You can get better if you would simply believe that you can get better and then begin the process of getting better. Begin reading the books. attending the lectures, going to class, going through whatever it is that's going to teach you and teach your mind and your body to be better today than it was yesterday and be better tomorrow. But it's not going to be a quantum leap. It's going to be brick by brick, play by play, a little bit here and a little bit there. I hope this message finds you well, and I hope that you can find those areas of your life that you would like to see improvement and remove the belief systems that are holding you back. I'm out.